But I'll do a piece for you called Mud More Merciful. It's a change of pace. I come to you as an Armenian. And Armenians carry a very long legacy of human rights abuses and genocide and ethnic cleansing and diaspora and living. And so I witness the current moment. This is why the Baldwin piece was so powerful for me, because it made me feel welcomed in this space. I witness what's happening in the world through Armenian eyes. In 2020 to 2023, few people got the news that 120,000 Armenians were ethnically cleansed off of one of the last remaining indigenous lands outside of what's today's Republic of Armenia. So this is in part for those 120,000 people who were ethnically cleansed and now living out in the diaspora. But you'll see that it's actually about Gaza and what's happening, but looking at it through the DNA that lives in my body and my cells. Mud More Merciful. Like a baby goat, the child stumbles in marvel at his father, sure-footed before him. Daddy, meanwhile, awaits lovingly for progeny to find his little footing. Every step a smile, his cheeks aglow with the wash of discovery. The soil is wet today. The water mixes with the dirt and makes mud. The child has a magic twig which morphs its meaning to meet each moment. 1 second a baton to wave for dad, the next a rifle to hold and laugh, and last a testing stick to investigate the consistency of the ground before stepping. This is what living is. I survey the trust this child has for dad like a visitor from another planet. I wonder about boyhood, about coming of age, about memories. You only rushed me, or taunted, or ridiculed, or shook me, but this isn't about you. It's about the rose. And rows of clothes along the Gaza coastline. Imagine people hanging from clotheslines, hung out to dry, strung out to die. It's about the children whose eyes bled before they mastered mud. Children who know the sight of intestines before they've ever seen the way ribbons curl against the edge of a knife. It's about children who love balloons, but for whom life begins perverted. Whose mothers and aunties have had their bowed gazes humiliated. Whose fathers aren't there, whose brothers and sisters were left behind, where snipers played God overhead, putting bullets where imagination belongs. It's for the children whose dream was smoked while it was still only forming in her tender little head. And for the children who were lucky, those who will visit other lands with tongues that still taste flavors that are slowly fading, who will master new languages to lament in, that will, no matter how useful, never feel like a mother's kiss goodnight, or sound like the ancient coastline still moving through their veins. Children whose stuffed grape leaves at lunch will perplex their whiter peers, and who will one day be told Zahtar is Israeli the way we've been told lavash is Turkish. It's about the children with questions adults won't have sure-footed answers for, like, why can't we go home, Baba? Or how long will we be on vacation? Or will I ever see Mazar Hend again? Children who will grow up to inherit the world without the delusions of privilege. Children whose nervous systems are patterned on the rat-a-tat-tat of guns and bombs and pauses between leaps to steal base, except it's not a game and there is no home. Children who will want to answer problems and questions the world around them isn't curious about. It's about the children of genocide, the children of diaspora, orphans and not, and the depraved, fathers, brothers, and sons who put them there. And their children too, the children whose innocence is forever stolen because of what daddy did. And the bodies, just like theirs, left in the mud. Mud more merciful than any invader's hand, because mud tries to bury the dead. Astvats Hokinin Lusavore, may God rest their souls.